Hey everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Bucker Designs. This week on my blog, I am featuring the super adorable Stellar Birthday from the 2021 to 2022 annual catalog from Stampin' Up. This is my favorite kind of stamp set. I love to color with Stampin' Blends, which is what we're gonna do today, and it's just cute and it's fun. I made this little box. I was trying to brainstorm candies and snacks that would go with this Stellar Birthday set, and what better than just a Milky Way bar. So I made a little box to fit it, and I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, let's start with our box. You're going to need a piece of basic black that measures 5.5 by 6 3/4, and I'm going to grab my Simply Scored. Now, all of these measurements are on a PDF on my blog, so don't feel like you have to write them down. You can go over there and click on the link under the last photo and grab that free PDF. We're going to score the long side at 1/2 inch, 1.5, and 5 3/4. Then turn it to the short side and score it at 1/2 inch, 2 inch, 3 inches, and 4.5. Okay, now grab your bone folder and we're going to burnish those lines. Get them nice and crisp. Bone folder will help you do this. Yes, you can do it with your fingers, but you're going to get a super crisp line if you use a bone folder. Okay, now when we scored our long side, that's this here, the 1/2 inch, and this is going to be our lid and our bottom. So grab your scissors and we're going to cut off, let's cut off this section first, okay? So on this side, just completely cut off these 4 sections. Okay, now come here and cut down like this, and then cut this one off. All right, and then down here, and cut this one off. Now these are the little flaps that go in our box. We don't need them to be too big, so I'm going to cut off about 1/4 inch, well, maybe a little bit more. We'll cut off 1/2 inch. And then we're going to cut the corners. These don't have to be perfect. These are going to be on the inside of your box. This helps close up any gaps that are left when you put your box together. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Now we're going to cut these lines, and we're actually going to cut this rectangle off. This little rectangle right here. So cut those, and then come up and snip the remaining 3 score lines. Now take your scissors, and on the square tabs, trim off the corners. Again, this is going to help your box go together really nicely. All right, last but not least, we're going to cut the corners off of this tab right here. All right, now, if you need to pause the video to look to see, that's what your box looks like. All right, I am just going to use Stamp and Seal. I find that this works pretty good. I'm going to do that right there on that tab. I'm going to fold this in and then fold that over. It should fit perfectly, and there is your box. Now for the bottom, I'm going to fold in the sides first, put some adhesive there, fold that up, and put some adhesive there. You know what, I'm going to trim off the corners here. If you see the edge of your cardstock sticking out just a little bit, just trim off those corners and press that up. You can take something like Stampin' Blend and push that down in there. All right, now let's put in our Milky Way, fold that down, and oh, we forgot to cut the corners off here. I cut the corners off of everything except this tab. That will just help that fold down right in there nicely. All right, so there is your box. All right, you're gonna need a piece of Pattern Party Designer Series paper. Doesn't it look like the night sky? It measures 1 3/8 by 4 1/8. Double check my PDF for the exact measurements. I'm quoting those off the top of my head. All right, now we're gonna make the little trail of smoke for our rocket. I am using the Stitchery stamp set. I thought this one would be pretty good. And I'm gonna do it in white craft ink, and we're going to emboss it with white embossing powder. All right, so you're not going to really need the whole thing, so I've inked it halfway really, and I'm going to do it kind of going sideways like that. All right, should have put paper down, shouldn't I? Now take your white embossing powder and sprinkle that on, and we're going to heat it up with the heat tool. You'll know it's ready once that embossing powder kind of liquefies and turns shiny. All right, once you have that done, we're going to put this on the front of our box right here. All right, let's make our cute little images. We are going to use the little rocket. So we're going to stamp that in Memento Black because we're coloring it with our Stampin' Blends. All right, let's see. Let's start with, what am I using? Light gray granite. And I'm going to fill in all of this right here with the light. Now, your rocket can be any color you want. I actually Googled cartoon rocket to see what colors they were, and this is what I found. I'm copying one of the ones that I found. All right, now I'm going to take my dark, and I'm going to put a shadow on this side. I'm going to put a shadow around that. I'm going to put a shadow line right under here. And then I'm going to go back with my light and color that all in. Let's make that a little bit darker. All right, now for the stripe across, I'm going to use light Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to color this in. I'm going to use my bullet tip so that I can stay in the lines. I do much better with the bullet tip end. Slowly go around the rim of the window. Now for the wings, I don't know, what are they called? The wings? Does a rocket ship have wings? We're going to do real red. Now, let's see, I forgot to do this part of our rocket. So let's color that in light gray granite. And then for the fire, traditionally, we're going to do yellow in the middle. This is Daffodil Delight, dark. And then on the outside, dark pumpkin pie. Last but not least, I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to make it a sparkly spaceship. Sparkly rocket. All right. Now, unfortunately, these stamps don't have dies, but we have scissors that we can still cut it out with. So get your best pair of small scissors, and I recommend our paper snips. They are awesome. They're 10 bucks, and they are the best 10 bucks you will spend. I promise you, you will not regret it. They're very sharp. And they're little, so they can get in these little nooks and crannies. Now, when I fussy cut, I stay on the outside of the black line. Don't go into the black line because it's a trick on the eye. Even if your white isn't so smooth, which mine never is, the eye is only going to see the black line. So stay right on the outside and leave just a tiny little cloud around your image. Okay, now one more. I'm going to come in here. Notice how I cut off cardstock as I went. That will help make it a smooth cut. Okay, so there's our rocket. Let's put this guy on with dimensionals right here at the top of our smoke trail. Like that. Now for the sentiment, we're going to bring back that scrap of white, and we're going to stamp it on just basic white. And I'm going to cut this out into rectangles. I'm going to cut the words apart. So grab your trimmer And we're just going to cut this off right here. And let's see if I can get close enough. I may need to use my scissors for this part. If you stamp it right on the bottom edge, there we go, of your paper, you won't have to worry about that last rectangle there. Now I'm going to cut off blast and then leave the U is A together and then celebrating. All right, so now we're going to need mini dimensionals, which always come in handy with small pieces like this. So put your dimensionals on. I think 2 for the big one, and then probably 1 will be enough for these smaller ones. Now, I'm always thinking about little treats for people at work or at school, or you're just having little treats on hand. I know my girls are teenagers, and they'll tell me about 9 o'clock at night that they need something for so-and-so's birthday tomorrow. So if you have little things like this just in a drawer waiting, then you won't have to run to the store at 9 o'clock at night. Or if someone shows up at work and says it's their birthday and you think, oh my gosh, I didn't know, you could pull this out and say, hey, look, I know it was your birthday. Celebrating you is a blast. Isn't that cute? Now, last but not least, we're going to tie some ribbon around the whole box. This is our black glitter ribbon. I mean, it looks like a galaxy. It's the perfect ribbon for this. I'm going to tie it all around the sides and finish with a bow right here at the top. I know when I give people treats like this, they always save the box. They love it. So if you do it like this, then they don't even have to untie the bow. They can just slip it off and then put it back on after they've eaten their Milky Way and put it on a shelf for display. It's always fun to see someone has kept your special box. And that's it. What do you guys think? Wait a minute. Hold up. There's more. I forgot. Look, we got to add a few shiny rhinestones for stars. I almost forgot our last embellishment. Well, if I had my take your pick tool, this would be a lot easier. And one more down here. Oh, I don't know. I never know when to stop. How about one more? You can never have enough rhinestones. All right, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this treat. Those Milky Ways are easy to find. My husband picked them up at a gas station for me. So find you some Milky Ways, make some cute little boxes, and let me know if you have questions. Click on the link here on YouTube to take you back to my blog where you'll find that PDF that has the supply list and all the measurements. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.